I was down low and there was a rocky terrain. It was like not a mountain. It was a big giant rocky hill, maybe 30 feet up. I look up and I see the silhouette of a Sasquatch. Don't disappear, and then it disappeared. Right before my eyes.
On this episode of the Cryptid Crew podcast, I would like to introduce resident of Maine, avid hiker, Scott. Scott, thank you for joining the show.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, good to have you on. And I'm glad we could finally kind of hook up. I know we've missed each other a couple of times.
Yeah, but it's always good things come to those who wait. So,
yes.
No problem with it whatsoever.
Absolutely. Scott has had some amazing encounters in Maine, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
And we corresponded back and forth on social media and by email. But let's just kind of dive into this, Scott, and tell us about some of the activity you have had on your property.
Okay, so on a regular basis, I have at least one, maybe two Sasquatches. At least I think that's what they are. But they come to my house and they play games with me, like literal games. I'm not talking about like mind games. I'm saying that they play actual games with me. They will. I've got these little Bigfoots that I have in my truck, and they're like little toy soldier kind of things. And I will arrange them a certain way in the truck. And then the next morning I'll go out to the truck and they'll be completely rearranged. Like they'll be moved or maybe slightly moved. And so nobody else has any reason to get into my truck ever, so I know in my heart of hearts that it's them doing it because I've visited a lot of them. And the first time I ever went out, I was successful immediately. Like I started doing this about 10 years ago, and I just wanted to see for myself if these were real or if they were, all not real and people were just making it up in their heads. The very first night I went out, I had an encounter immediately. And I could hear it from across. I was on a bridge. I was walking across the bridge and it was dark out, but I could see this trackway going down the hill and then back up the hill on the other side, going over this bridge. And I saw the trackway go into there's like a little green belt. And so there was some woods right there. I couldn't see in, but all of a sudden I heard this growl come out from there, and it hit me in the chest. Like I could absolutely feel it in my chest. And that was the first night. Now the next night, I went out the very next night, and I was letting out some whoops because that's what I thought you're supposed to do, tree knocking and whoops and all that. And if I tell you it was maybe 5 feet away from me, I got the loudest whoop I've ever heard in my life. And it was like right next to me. My knees started shaking. I could barely even stand up. I started to like hyperventilate, and then it was gone. Whatever was there, it was gone. And I just, if you just uncover, you can lift the veil very easily. You lift that cover on the veil and it will show itself to you. If you want it, the universe knows that you want to look at this stuff. They're going to show it to you. And I found out, I was convinced immediately that these were real creatures. Now, I think there's more to them than just flesh and blood. I think there's far more to them than flesh and blood.
Scott, let me ask you this. The one that was close to you, did you ever hear any footsteps or anything else?
Nothing. When I heard that whoop, my ears were ringing. I couldn't hear anything after that. Like they were a really loud ring, like if you were at a concert and you were going home that night and you go to bed and you hear this horrible ringing in your ears. And that's what I felt. And my knees were shaking, like I said, and I couldn't focus on anything else. I was like terrified. I was not expecting this to happen. I wasn't expecting to actually get a response right next to me. So I couldn't hear anything run away from me. No.
Gotcha. Did you feel any type of, and I guess what I'm getting at is I'm going to bring up infrasound because it's something that's real and it's something that animals emit. Did you feel nauseated, have a headache, or anything after, or was it just so loud that you were, unable to detect any other activity?
I was so taken aback by it that I didn't feel anything except numb. But you mentioned infrasound. I know exactly what you're talking about. It is 100% real, and it happens to me on a regular basis, all the time with them. When I'm going out into the woods and I get that feeling, because I know exactly what it feels like. It's a feeling that you get in the back. It's hard to explain what infrasound feels like because maybe it feels different for other people. But for me, it's a heat that I get in the back of my head. I start to feel dizzy and a little out of breath. And it's the same thing happens every time. And then when I leave that area, it goes away immediately. Um, it really does happen, and it is absolutely real, 100% real.
Yes,
They use
I think I've
I,
had. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
no,
Scott.
oh, no, I'm sorry. I was just going to say we use about 6% of our brain's capacity, right? We don't use all that much of our brain's power. I think that they use more of their brain's abilities than we can even possibly imagine. They've got a huge brain, and maybe they use more of their power than we do because we don't.
Yeah, I believe it's a pretty intelligent creature, and I had someone on just previously that thought the same thing. Um,
Yeah,
I have experienced, I believe, infrasound myself as well on a camping slash investigation trip. Um, one morning, and it was fear was one of the feelings that I had, as
yeah.
well as a migraine a little bit later on that morning. I'm not sure. You said yours was a wolf, is that correct? Or a
Well, no, I
growl?
heard the one I heard. I had a deep guttural growl, and then the next night I had the whoop come after right next to me. The guttural growl was probably 100 feet away from me, at least, and but like I said, I could feel it right in my chest, like you're talking about. I could feel it in my chest. It was that deep and that powerful, and it's something you don't forget. I mean, I've had some experiences that I can't even wrap my head around them. They're so bizarre, but they're related to the Sasquatch, I do believe. And it's not. I don't think it's a psychosomatic thing. I'm not trying. I'm not wishing this to happen. I'm not trying to have these things happen to me. They just happen. And I mean, I'm by myself most of the time. I don't have a partner to go out into the woods with me. I just do it by myself, and it's I've got nobody to share it with. So I it's I don't know who to talk to about this because nobody. It's things happen. I can't even believe myself, let alone let somebody else try to believe. Convince somebody else of it happening.
Sure. There's a lot of things that people have experienced that's unexplainable.
Yeah,
Vocalizations, chatter, infrasound, like we had just mentioned, wood
yeah,
knocks or tree knocks, and so forth. I want to take a step back and tell everybody, and you can enlighten them as well.
yeah.
You're in Cumberland County, Maine,
Correct.
and Maine is I believe we had talked about it just previously, the number one forested state in the United States.
Yeah.
Can you describe the terrain in your area where you are?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's mostly pine trees. There are uh, other trees for sure, but it's mostly pine trees around me, and I think that the and birch trees. I think the birch is a really sacred tree to the Sasquatch. I know it is to a lot of Native Americans. The birch tree is. I see a lot of symbols, a lot of structures that they create with the birch trees, and there's a lot of them up here. A lot of them. Sometimes I'll go out looking for chaga. Chaga is a mushroom that grows on the birch tree, and it's a really super mushroom, superfood. It's really good for you. But um, I'm sure that they use that for medicinal purposes, and they use the bark for other reasons. And you can light a fire with the bark, even if it's wet. So up here, it's mostly pine trees and lots of heavy cover. Like sometimes you can't see 5 feet into the forest, and it's pitch black when it might be sunny outside, and it's pitch black in some of these forests. Really dark, really ominous, but also really inspiring as well. We have you know, a lot. There used to be at least a large Native American culture up here, and a lot of these areas were sacred to them, and I can see why. It's beautiful up here. The terrain is hard. It's dangerous at times. There's a lot of rocks. There's really a lot of granite here, a lot of granite, and that might have something to do with the vibrations. I mean, I think the Bigfoots are all about vibrations, and they thrive up here. I'm telling you, there are a ton of them up here. I know that Maine isn't like on the BFRO, like a big hotspot on the BFRO, but I think it's just because people keep these kind of things close to the chest. They don't talk about their encounters because you know what happens if you talk about your encounter. Um, but I think a lot of people have encounters up here that they're not talking about.
Right. I'm looking on the BFRO website now. I think the last thing that's reported to them was in August of 2025 in Oxford County, and it was a Class A sighting, which was and a daylight sighting at that by two
No
witnesses.
kidding.
Yes,
Really?
yes, road
In
crossing.
Oxford County?
Yep. But there's several on here.
Yeah.
There's at least 15 to 20 reports throughout the years, and the particular county that you're in,
Yeah.
which is Cumberland County, had a
Mhm.
sighting in 1973, and
73.
I believe it was by actually a game and fish officer. So
Oh, really? Well, I'm
that's
telling
credible. You know, that to me that's a credible source.
absolutely, absolutely. Anytime a police officer or a fish and game warden tells you that they've seen something, it's credible. Absolutely. I'll tell you something that happened to me one time. I was out in the woods and I had taken this really nice stick. All right, I spray painted the stick green. I carved some things into it, and I was taking this stick and I was leaving it out as a gift in this one part of the forest. So I leave the stick out there, and I'm working in another town, Freeport. That's maybe 10 miles away from where I had left the stick. Now, in Freeport, there was also an area that I was kind of gifting at because I was getting a lot of response out there. 2 days later, that stick showed up in Freeport. It was in an area that I was gifting. That stick showed up in Freeport from Yarmouth. And now there was nobody on earth that knew about this stick. Nobody, nobody. And when this happened, when I found that stick out there, I jumped for joy. I was like literally screaming. I was so happy because that to me was communication. That was telling me that I know who you are. This is your stick. I know who you are, and you're coming out here, and I know that you're coming out here. That was like incredible. It was such a feeling of joy that I had from that. It was absolutely amazing. Such a great,
Let me ask you this, Scott. How
yeah,
far away was that gift sighting or gifting
10 miles,
site from
mhm,
the one that you found the stick at?
10 miles,
10 miles.
10 miles. And there's nobody on earth that would have known about it. Just no way. So that's the one thing that I will never, ever forget. And I've never had a sighting. I've seen a couple of them like from a distance, but I wasn't like, okay, I know that that's a Bigfoot right there. I've never had like a really good sighting of anything, but I've had so many experiences that I'm absolutely convinced that this is an absolute real creature. Nobody's going to be able to change my mind because I know that they're real. I know they're real. It's just when you know, you know.
Yeah. What do you think they are? Are you in the woo camp, or are you in the flesh and blood, or do you think it's a combination of the two?
I think it's a combination. I'm in the woo. I hate to say it, but I am because of what I've experienced. Mark, I saw one from, I was down low and there was a big rocky terrain. It was like not a mountain, but it was a big giant rocky hill, maybe 30 feet up. I look up there, I look up and I see the silhouette of a Sasquatch. I see one and I say to it, please don't disappear. Don't disappear. And then it disappeared it, right before my eyes. And so I'm in the woo. I can't help it. I'm in the woo camp as well.
Yeah, that's the thing about hearing some of these stories. This large creature is
Yeah.
there one
Yeah.
second,
Yeah.
and then it vanishes into the woods. You know, it's
Yeah.
just gone. And
It's
and
gone.
you can't find a trace of anything, and that's just hard to explain.
It is. It is. And here's the thing. I've also found out that there are other creatures out there that we don't know about. I started out as just like looking for Sasquatches, hunting for Sasquatch. But lately, I've been having encounters with these other creatures that I can't explain. And I have videos of these things on my channel, Loomis the Cryptid Hunter, 420 on TikTok. And there are other things out there that we don't know about yet, Mark, that, some people have experienced them, but I don't think everybody has. And there's a strange, we live in a weird world, bro, that we don't really even know anything about. It seems to me like we don't know the truth about a lot of crazy stuff that happens.
There's
A
a lot
lot
of
of it.
mystery.
There is. And once you've lifted the veil, you can't, close your eyes to it anymore. I know, I can't unsee these things anymore. I can't. They're there.
Scott, have you found any physical evidence as far as tracks or hair or any tree breaks or structures?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I find structures all the time. Structures. I've got pictures of tracks. I've been reluctant to create a track. I mean, like do a plaster cast of a track because I was afraid that I'd screw it up. So I didn't. I just took pictures. I took pictures with like a glove in there so you could see the scale of the thing. But I absolutely have pictures of tracks. I've got structure pictures. I've got on my channel. I've got pictures. I've got a couple of face shots as well, and that I didn't know I was taking a face shot of. It would be like a still in a video that I've taken. And that's the thing is you got to break these videos down, and you can find them in your videos. Even if you're not shooting a video of trying to look for Bigfoots, if you're just shooting a video close to the woods, there's a lot of times you're going to catch a Bigfoot in your damn video. They're everywhere, Mark. They are. I'm convinced that they are absolutely everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're reported in just about every state,
Yeah.
and for people that don't follow the subject as a hobby, or even as you do as an enthusiast and researcher,
Right.
um, a lot of people think, oh, it's when you refer to Bigfoot, they think of one Bigfoot. How can how can Bigfoot be seen in all these places? But I believe there's a decent population of them. I don't know if anybody knows exactly what. I think I've heard Dr. Jeff Meldrum one time say 3 to 5,000 possibly,
Yeah.
which 50 states. That's 100 in each state. Could be
Yeah.
more, could be
Well,
less. I don't,
I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
more.
Yeah,
I think
very
it's
well
a
could
lot
be.
more. I really do, just because of all the evidence that I see everywhere I go. Unfortunately, it's become kind of an obsession for me because I see the evidence everywhere, and I'm not trying to make these things up. This is just it just comes to me now. It just comes to me. I can't help but see this stuff, and I've gotten pretty good at calling them in too. I mean, I can get responses from them pretty not on a regular basis, but a lot more times than I ever thought I'd be able to. They will interact with you. They definitely will. And it can be fun. It can be fun because they have a sense of humor. We might not know about it. We might not know what it is, but they have a sense of humor about them. And if you have the right attitude and your mind is open, you can interact with them and you can find them. It's very easy to find them. I found it no difficulty whatsoever.
What do you think the tree structures are?
I think that they are partially they do that for to relieve boredom. I think they also do it for signs to say that like this is my territory, this is my glyph, this is how I create this tree structure everywhere I go, and this is my territory. I've heard some people say that they'll leave like leaning sticks, like 5 or 6 sticks down in one spot, and that might represent how many Sasquatch are in that vicinity right there. But I think it could be territorial. Um, and I think that they do it for art as well, because some of the structures are just incredible. They're mind blowing structures. And now I've heard some people say that they might actually get power from these trees, the way that they, you know, form them, like they might actually get some sort of magical powers from them. Some people have said that to me. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not gonna I don't question anything anymore because of what I've experienced. Like, it's hard for me to question anything that comes to the table. And I welcome anything, anybody that comes to the table that has evidence or has any kind of like something new to bring on and talk about. I'm all for it. I'm always listening. I love it. I love it when people come to me with their stories because they do. They come to me on my channel and they tell me about things that have happened to them, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah. I'll put a link in the description, by the way, of your social media so people can check out, your
Awesome.
channel and see what's going on.
Thank
Uh,
you.
no problem. Going back to the structures,
Yeah.
I tend to think they might be sometimes near game trails,
Yeah.
deer and so forth.
Yep.
And but I cannot explain the rock structures. I don't know. It could be just using rocks for something similar, but
Yeah.
you've heard people as well talk about the rocks being stacked certain
Yeah.
ways for no
Yeah.
reason.
Right. Right. I think that they, number one, I think that we are their entertainment. They don't have televisions. They don't have smartphones. They have to do something. And I think that that relieves some of the boredom that they might have. They create, um, and I'm sure you've seen some of the arches that they've made out of a, they'll bow a tree like, and they'll jam it into the ground and have other trees holding it down. And you think, how on earth could they have done that? Because I've tried to bow a tree over like that, and it snaps every time. I've never been able to get it to, like, just bow over, and they arch amazing arches sometimes. I've seen some that are just blow your mind, and, they're strong.
No doubt. I believe they are very curious creatures by some of the
Yeah,
stories that have been told, and
yeah,
especially observing, campsites or campers
yep,
checking things out. I think if you act natural, I think the activity we had that night, going back to the infrasound that I think I encountered,
yeah, yeah,
we were just acting natural. We had a small campfire
mhm,
and just not a lot of noise, just regular conversation,
yep,
and had activity. And honestly, I was not expecting it. And I
right,
guess that's when you do have it. But
yeah,
you're in their habitat, and
oh,
they're
yeah,
masters to me of their domain as far as
yeah.
hiding and
Oh,
knowing the place.
I know that for a fact that I've walked right past the Sasquatch before, not even realizing it was one, and because it looked like a tree stump. And they can hold still, and they are the like you said, they are the masters of hiding, and they can hide right in plain sight. They're incredible at it. They're a lot smarter than people think they are. I don't think that they're an ape. I don't think that they're anything to do with an ape. I think that they are absolutely a type of people, and they have their own language. They have love connections. They have children. They have families. And they have feelings that are more than just a wild animal. I think there's far more to them than just that. I think they have very deep feelings, and curiosity being one of them.
The gentleman I just had on, Jim Myers from Colorado, he had the same outlook or opinion that you do. He
Yeah,
thinks that they're just some type of hybrid person or people or
yeah,
something. I've always leaned towards the undiscovered primate, and I'm going to say undiscovered because science, of course, does not recognize some of these cryptids.
I know.
But yeah, like we said earlier, it's a really a mystery, and
Yeah.
there is still pieces of the puzzle missing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what keeps me moving forward because I'm curious. You know, I, sometimes I wish I wasn't so curious because there's no glory in doing what I do and what we do. There's no glory whatsoever. I don't make any money doing this. It costs me money. I got to deal with black flies and mosquitoes and freezing cold and wet conditions. It's awful sometimes. And sometimes when it's really raining and it's horrible outside, that I'll have the best encounters then. But There's no glory in what we do, and the satisfaction is getting that really good evidence that you know is real, and something that I can put up on my channel and know that I've done my best. That's a great feeling because a lot of people will just use AI, and I think AI is really killing what we do. It's
It
killing.
is. It saturates what is on, videos and so forth, and it's
Yeah,
hard to tell sometimes. You flip through stuff and used to, a decade ago, if you flip through something and saw
yeah,
potential Sasquatch or Bigfoot or cryptid of some sort, you would
yeah,
stop and look at the video and maybe look at it more than once and try
yeah,
to break it down just a little bit and
yeah,
you know study it, I guess you'd say. But
yeah.
now it's just so much, and it is hard to tell sometimes.
Oh, so often is the only thing that I know for a fact is if it's like crystal clear Dogman or crystal clear Bigfoot, it's not real. It's fake because you don't get that kind of evidence. They don't show themselves like these videos portray them to be showing themselves. They don't do that. Even the Dogmen, they don't do that. And I do believe that they're real too, just so you know.
That there's a video that's been circulating on the dog man. It's one of a dog man supposedly looking at seems like a hidden game camera. Have you seen that one? Where
Yes, but it kind of smiles at the game camera.
he kind of sniffs around at it a little bit and then kind of
Yep.
snarls and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
takes off. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
I've seen it and it looks incredible,
yeah. It really does.
doesn't it?
But I'm like, is this AI? And that's the thing. There's just a little bit of questioning of, is this legitimate?
Yeah. I it looks real to me, but I cannot help but think it's probably AI.
Yeah.
And it's like they keep pumping these videos out and flooding the market. So it's they're just ruining it for us, man.
It's really unfortunate. It really is.
It is. I love how it looks. I mean, it's incredible. What AI can do is amazing. These videos are incredible, but it's fake. It's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah.
So
Let me
yeah,
ask you this, Scott, and
yeah,
I've asked
yeah,
this
yeah.
before on the podcast. If someone was to bring a body of a Sasquatch or Bigfoot to science,
Yep.
would that take the fun out of it for you or the mystery out of it? Because that's what I think I enjoy the most is the mystery of the subject.
Right, 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 right. I mean, it's almost like when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2004. All right. We waited 86 years for that to happen. And then it happened. And then it happened like five more times. And then it kind of took the glory out of it. So maybe that would take the mystery out of it, if they actually did find a body. But at the same time, I would love to know that that would be the discovery of the 21st century. It would be amazing. I don't think they're ever going to be able to do it though, not in our lifetimes. I just don't
Yeah.
think that they're interested in doing it.
Yeah.
My
I don't,
opinion is that
it's,
the
it's,
government already knows all about them. I think the government knows about them, and they become a nuisance to them at times, and they have to deal with them. So I don't know why they'd hide it from us, but I think that they're hiding it from us.
yeah, 100%. I believe they know way more than we know about what's going on.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Florida Wildlife Conservancy has a set of regulations, and they've removed this sentence, but it was in the 2022 or 2020 Florida Wildlife Conservancy regulations. The Swanee area is what I
Yep.
guess it's called.
Okay.
And the sentence was I believe it was under coyotes or wild hogs. Talks about a wild hog limit. There's no limit on coyotes, I believe.
Yep.
And at the very last sentence in the paragraph, no taking of skunk apes or swamp apes.
Really,
Yes.
Hmm.
And
That's interesting.
I've heard a couple of theories that they were joking when they put that in there.
Oh
I
yeah.
really honestly don't see that as a joke,
No.
putting something
No.
in the regulations, and
No.
I just think they know, and they stuck that in there somewhere where it's not going to be seen that much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and then the Washington State back in the 70s, I think there was a pamphlet that they put out that had a picture of a Sasquatch in there, showing exactly what it looked like, right next to a bear, right next to a fox, like any other animal. So, no, that was the Army Corps of Engineers, I think is what it was, and there was a booklet that they had put out for other engineers about this creature because they knew about it. They knew it was real. They knew it was real.
Right.
So, yeah.
What's your plans on your next outing?
Um, well, here's the thing. It's getting really hot up here. And when it gets like this, it's hard to go out. And there are times I get burnt out on doing it and I have to walk away from it. And right now I'm in the middle of one of those times where I'm just I need a break because I can become kind of obsessed with this at times. And it bothers my girlfriend. She's not into this at all. She, in fact, doesn't doesn't care at all about this subject. So I can't even share it with her. But um, yeah, it's getting to be pretty hot up here. And the bugs, the black flies, Mark, are just atrocious, awful. And the ticks. Now I'm worried about friggin' ticks all the time. So yeah, the bug season, I got to stay away from that for a little while. I have over 3,000 videos that I've shot. And so what I'm right now doing is going through them and editing them down and putting them up on my channel. And then I'm just going to take a little break for a little while. But when I get back out there again, um, I go all in. I go all in. I love doing it. It's an obsession. It's it's fun, and it gets me out into the woods too. Because in this day and age, and what they're doing to our forests, you got to get out there and take a look because they're not going to be here as much as they used to be, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That's
I
well, when you get back out there, we'll have to do maybe a part two down the road.
I would love to. I would love to. I would love to do like a live or something with you because I've got some good spots I could show you. It'd be
Oh
great.
yeah, yeah. Let's plan on that. We'll plan on doing that.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
keep in touch with you on that for
yeah.
sure.
Scott,
All
what
right,
what?
good.
Let me ask you this: what would you tell a skeptic?
I would tell a skeptic to stop talking, listen, and open your mind a little bit, and just go with somebody that knows what they're talking about. Go with somebody that knows where to go, and keep your mind open because otherwise you're going to miss all the cool things that are on this planet. You know, there's a lot more to this planet that we know about, and if you're going to be skeptical, what fun is that? I'd rather be in a world where there's all kinds of Bigfoots all over the place than not. It's way more fun to believe in them than it is to not believe in them. That's what I would say,
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
good answer. Good answer.
Thank thank you.
Well, at the end of each episode, we do a rapid fire Q&A.
Let's
I'll
do it.
ask 3 questions, and it's casual, and it's the
Okay.
first thing that comes to your mind.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Number 1, favorite Bigfoot or paranormal TV show, past or
Oh,
present?
oh, past. That would
Past
be
or
the
present.
all right, $6 Million Man. That's what first got me into Bigfoot, was Bigfoot versus the $6 Million Man.
That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
do a flashback Friday sometimes, and I'll post an old episode of something that might have a Bigfoot or that. And I almost did that one not too long ago. I watched that video of Bigfoot on $6 Million Man, and it's a classic.
Oh, it is. I mean, he looks ridiculous. He looks nothing like what a Sasquatch looks like. But at the time in '76, when that came out, I was obsessed. I was a little kid and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2, if you had to pick one superhero to be, who would it be?
Oh boy. Superman.
Okay.
Superman.
Good
Because he's
choice.
super.
Yes.
Nobody better than Superman.
All right. Number 3, one thing on your bucket list.
Mm. Oh, I know. I want to go to the original Patterson Gimlin site. I would love to go to that part of California and maybe take that walk and see what it was like and maybe be right where those guys were. And that's where I'd like to go. That's a bucket list thing for me for sure.
Yeah, that might be on my bucket list as well.
I bet you it is.
We were close to there last year. We drove into Northern California from Oregon at a Sasquatch Festival in Glide, Oregon. And the day before, we drove to the redwoods in Northern California.
Oh, wow.
Just beautiful.
Amazing,
Huge.
right? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I can't even you can't even describe how big those trees are. It's incredible.
No.
Where do you live? Where are you from, Mark?
I'm in Alabama.
Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole lot of, sightings out in Alabama.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
The Alabama
Definitely.
white thing, which is most of the sightings and stories you hear are a Bigfoot type of creature. I
Mhm.
believe it's some sort of albino or light colored haired, you know, Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah,
There's some
totally.
stories of it with having a muzzle, you know, like a dog.
Okay.
You don't hear too many of those, but more of the Bigfoot. But yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of activity.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt it. I bet a lot of hunters down there see him on
Yeah,
a regular basis.
yeah, yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, Scott, I've really enjoyed this. I appreciate you coming on the show and taking time out of your schedule to join us.
I'm so glad we could finally do this. It's been a while since we've been trying to get it going, and I appreciate your patience, but I had a great time. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Mark.
me as well. I do appreciate it. And like you
Wait,
said, we'll try to do a part two where maybe we can do a live or something.
I'd love to do that. Love to. I'll keep in
Awesome.
touch with you on that one, bro.
Good deal. And for the listeners, if you've had an encounter or something strange, email us at the Cryptid Crew Podcast at gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and God bless.
Thanks a lot.